Hi there. As a BL fan who sometimes cares a little bit too much about the small things in life, I enjoy taking a closer look at the world of BL and discussing certain aspects of it in my videos. In each video, I take on a subject in an informative and hopefully entertaining way, and express my thoughts with the help of a co-narrator. May I present my co-narrator?
ผมชื่อไทย
From Together the series. Together, we bring you a viewer left a comment on one of my previous videos with a few topic suggestions for future videos. I won't always be able to implement viewer suggestions in videos in a short amount of time, as I do have a lot of topics I would like to talk about, but product placement was one suggestion that happened to stay with me to a point that I started to notice it more while watching BL. Considering how often it comes up in various dramas across the BL landscape and beyond, I realized that it probably is worth it to take a few minutes to understand some of the background of it. Plenty of people hate seeing product placement pop up, but there are also those that can appreciate the amusing side of it. These differing opinions are largely connected to what I have found during my research, which is that there is more to product placement than just sticking a product in front of a camera. The drama Top Form's use of product placement is particularly worth talking about, as I will get to later on. In this video, I will lay out some of the background of how product placement gained importance in BL productions, and I will talk about the different types of product placement and what their effect has been on the viewers, according to some studies and what I have gleaned from some comments. Before I get started though, I would like to make it clear that even though I am showing various products, I am not being sponsored to advertise any of them. Especially when it comes to the snacks and drinks, I don't mean to encourage the consumption of less than healthy food products. So if this video inspires you to open a package or crack open a bottle of your most available delight, please be mindful of your health and consume in moderation. Making a movie or drama costs money. That should surprise nobody. A production company has some funds for their projects, but will eventually need to acquire some more to be able to see their projects completed. That's why you will usually see more than one company logo at the beginning or end of a movie or episode. However, it's not always possible to find all the necessary backing from studios, and some projects are conceived to require a bigger budget than others. I should say that to label a production high budget or low budget can be deceiving. Depending on the kind of drama, the setting it takes place in, what kinds of sets and clothes it uses, or whether it requires visual effects, a drama can be considered low budget if it's low relative to other dramas of its kind, or high budget if it gives an overall polished impression from post-production. For example, period dramas like The Untamed and Word of Honor cost a whole lot more than dramas in modern settings, where the sets don't have to be built and the costumes don't have to be sewn, and yet both of those dramas are considered low budget. In the last few years, the trend among the most popular BL dramas has been that overall, the dramas with higher production costs have been the most successful. Many fans expect flashy shots, awe-inspiring sets, considerable post-production work, and other high expenses. Wanting to profit from what is currently popular, producers usually choose projects with high-quality visuals to meet this demand. To achieve that, when studios can't meet the required amount for the project, producers will turn to other sources for money. Selling advertising space in the form of viewing time has always been an efficient way to make money. Watching TV means enduring regular breaks from the main program, unless you're watching a channel that's governmentally funded. The dawn of online streaming saw dramas that are no longer intended to be aired on TV, so depending on where you watch, you would see less or no advertisements at all anymore. In the BL sphere, this has also been the case, but not always. Some dramas are still edited into parts so that either the payment-free streaming sites can easily add advertisements to the viewing experience, or so that advertisements can be edited into the episode itself. And it's these advertisements, edited into the episode, where product placement comes into play. This should be fairly obvious, but I still want to point out that only advertisements that were edited into the episode directly provided the production company with money that contributed to the making of the drama. How much of a profit the production company makes from a share of the income from the advertisements on the streaming website, I unfortunately wasn't able to find out. Now, the product companies don't pay the drama production to feature their product out of the goodness of their hearts, along with some prayers that they might see some returns. The goal is to maximize the consumption of their product, and regularly advertising a product has proven to boost the sales of it in any environment. The first principle is therefore, attention boosts sales. Product placement goes one step further by attaching the products to drama characters, which creates an association of the product with the people that you love. When you associate a product with something or somebody you like, you are more likely to purchase it, and more often. This is more difficult than it sounds. As I've touched on before, the emotions regarding product placement in beloved series ranges from being entertained by it, to being mildly annoyed but accepting of its existence, to downright hating it. Hate is not what the product companies or production teams want for their products, so they need to find a way to feature the product without eliciting any negative responses from the viewers. The main issue is when product placement takes away from the story, so if it creates a break in the story and the attention on the product detracts from the plot. Let's take a look at the different options for product placement and the effect they have on the viewing experience. Even if these products are not a part of the drama scenery, technically speaking, the advertisements at the beginning of videos and at the end of episodes could also be considered product placement. The products are introduced either as short and snappy clips, or are part of the frame that's used around previous or upcoming episode scenes. They basically function as their own short product feature without impacting the contents of the episode. This has the benefit of the viewer's full attention being on the product. The association with the characters is probably a lot smaller in this kind of product placement. The emotional attachment isn't quite able to form, although if they are shown often enough, they might still leave a lasting impression connected to the drama that they accompany. Their main benefit is that when they are placed just before the episode starts, or after the episode is over, they don't interrupt the viewing experience. If they pop up in the middle of an episode, they can be annoying, though. In some cases, product placement doesn't require much engagement with the product. You can have a drink or a snack on a table in front of the characters, or a logo adorning a wall behind them. What's most important is that the logo is on full display, but without it being the main focus of the scene. I honestly haven't seen this use of product placement very often, which I assume is because the product can be more easily overlooked, and isn't necessarily associated with the characters. From what I've seen, insertion placement is probably the most commonly used kind of product placement. The characters interact with these products, eat them, drink them, and often pause the story to talk about them.
อร่อยจริงๆเลย เอาไปถือไว้
I've actually noticed something that I find a bit funny. As I was going through some dramas, mainly from the Thai BL landscape, I noticed that in some dramas you actually don't see the characters eating snacks or drinking special drinks very much. Then in others, it's like the characters are constantly snacking and drinking something. I'm exaggerating a little, but only a little. The association of the product with the characters gets established pretty well, but this is also the most unpopular form of product placement. Very often these product placements are obvious breaks in the story, which can be quite annoying to wait through. There are some more subtle examples that don't interrupt the story, but to the trained eye, seeing any product being put on display in a scene can still distract from what's going on and elicit a negative reaction. In some cases, entire scenes are crafted around the product that take place in the realm of the drama, but don't do anything for the narrative. Here it's once again the characters and the setting of the drama that are the main vehicle for advertising the product, but these placements function, despite their appearance, entirely outside of the story. Integrating the product into the story is the most difficult form of product placement, because it needs to be planned early on in the shooting process. This is when the product serves a function that actually drives the plot forward. I haven't seen this very much, but maybe I didn't always notice that a scene was meant to advertise something, which may be nice for me, but isn't great for the product companies. Therein lies the trick, to find the right balance of showcasing a product, but without annoying the potential consumers. I really like how the drama Top Form set up their product placement in the first episode. The main characters are actors, and a good portion of the story takes place on or around drama sets. In the first scene with product placement, you have the character Jin nervously shaking his box of Ditto drops, where he drops one, resulting in him chasing after it directly into the path of Akin, his future acting partner. The logo on the box is visible in certain moments, but it doesn't take center stage in this scene. And because there's a clear reason why Jin is handling the box, and the way where to drop plays a role in how the characters meet, it becomes a natural part of the scene and doesn't cause a break. Later on in this episode, Jin is shooting a product placement scene for the drama that they're in. Very meta, yes, and I actually really appreciate it. The product placement scene isn't just shot quickly and then moved on from. Instead, adjustments are repeatedly made and the shooting time is drawn out. That way, attention is drawn to the drinks over and over again, but it's done in a humorous way, and the viewer also ends up learning things about the characters doing the scenes. Not to mention that this scene becomes the first time that the two main characters properly connect, which sets the basis for how their relationship progresses. From there on, future product placement scenes refer back to the older ones, with Jin receiving and getting attached to more Ditto drop boxes, Akin seeing Jin advertising other product items, and so on and so forth. The drama also incorporates product placement outside of the plot, mainly at the end of episodes, where the products are being bought in stores that we don't see in the drama. It's not relevant to the plot, but because it's the characters Jin and Akin who are buying them, and what they buy ties into other scenes that do happen in the drama, it feels like you're just watching a bonus scene of the drama. It needs to be said that even though I've highlighted the main kinds of product placement, there are no hard rules for how product placement should be, and there are certainly examples that would be considered a mixture of different kinds. Producers and directors aren't always free to set product placement up however they want, so it's great to see when they are able to let a little bit loose with their creativity. Personally, I don't hate product placement, it mostly just makes me roll my eyes, though I have found through making this video that I automatically give a drama more points for overall enjoyableness if I don't see any product placement at all. In general, I wish that more projects with a lower budget would be made, as I feel that there is a tendency for higher budget dramas coming across as more commercial if I see products popping up too often. But if the product placement has to be fairly visible, then setting it up in a humorous scene is pretty much the best way to ensure that the viewers are actually going to enjoy having to look at it. Thank you for enduring all the egregious, silly, and out-of-place product placement with me. Subscribe if you like my video and comment below. Take care!